Well, hey, welcome back to Frog Hair Farm. I'm actually out at the farm today. Got our oats growing here in the background. They're doing okay. You can definitely tell the difference where there is red. I had red clover last year, by the way. So clearly, put some nitrogen in the soil. That's not what I'm here to talk about. So I might have done something that would make you question my sanity. I picked up 2 ponies, and not just 2 ponies, but another pony on top of that. So now I have a herd. I got 5.5 ponies. So, plus plow, cultivator, some other nice stuff. So, pony here ran when parked. All it needs is a starter. This pony is parts pony. So pony number 3 is still where it was. I'm about ready to head over and pick it up. And that pony is called Ran When Parked. Ran really good. We'll see. So anyhow, let me go get that one. We'll take you on the journey. Pick up pony number, 5.5. Since I've got 2 at home already that are runners, and nice ones actually. A half parts pony over at the house. Then I've got these 2. All it needs is a starter pony and parts pony, and then we'll see what happens. So I've got a herd. We'll come back at you later when we get pony number 3 for the day. Alrighty, well here's Ranman parked. She's not exceptionally pretty. We need some front tires, but you see the half pony over there. That's got great tires. So those tires will go here, and then we'll get this one going. So anyway, came with a plow. I already got one, but hey, this one has a cultivator attached, and I've got disc cultivators. They go on here, although I've got other shoes for that, so we'll see. We'll probably set that up with just some regular shoes. It's got the rear mounted component already on it too. So next step will be on this one, we'll be getting it running, and then getting cultivator set up for my little popcorn patch. So overall, not all that bad. I've actually got the side covers, all that stuff, little non-stock shift knob there, but not a bad little tractor overall. So you might wonder, why on earth would I want a herd of ponies? I don't know. Good question. However, there's a couple of reasons for it. One, I like them, so what the heck. I know there's some tractor collectors that have a rule like they won't buy 2 of anything. Well, I obviously don't have that problem. So these now I have a total of 5.5 over there. The one thing about ponies is, in all of the little garden type tractors of the late 40s, early 50s, things like that, is that the implements are all mounted implements, unlike a 3-point hitch you would find on a Ferguson or something like that, where you back up to your implement, pitch it up, and go. These take some time. So if I want to configure this for a cultivator, I've got to get all the parts for the cultivator together. I got to bolt them all on. I got to hook up the lift mechanism, all that. It takes a little bit of time. If, for instance, the planter in the last video I had, getting that tractor set up to mount it, and then getting it mounted, all that took me a good hour to get that done, because I had to, you know, turn the drawbar around, and that took a little bit of time, and I had to do a little mods on the drawbar to get it to fit correctly, various things like that. So, you know, these tractors always had mounted implements, and the same thing would go for like a little Farmall Cub or a Alice Chalmers G, those kind of machines. Let me turn you around here a minute. So, you know, like I said, you know, mounting cultivator, not terribly difficult. It just takes time. So, you know, you're gonna unbolt these guys. You can leave the mounts on, but if I want to do something else with it, I'm gonna, you know, unhitch that and that, pull each side off, get the back on. If I'm doing something I need the drawbar, I'm gonna have to bolt the drawbar back on and on and on and on. So anyway, so I guess my idea is, you know, if I have enough ponies, I'll just mount a different implement on each one, and I won't have to worry about that anymore. Now, that may be rational or not. You make the decision there. But anyway, part of my thinking. The other thing about it, why did I buy these three? Well, they were close and they were cheap as a whole. So I happened to find one close. The guy had a reasonable price on it. Went and talked to him. He goes, "Oh, by the way, I've got a parts tractor. I'd for a little bit more, I'd sell you that." Okay, well, let's look at it. And that was parts tractor. And he goes, "Then I got one I've got fixed up." He goes, I'll sell you all three for X." Well, the price he wanted for all three was not a lot more than what most of these guys are asking for ponies for one pony today. And which I think most people think ponies are worth a lot more than what they really are, but that's another topic. The problem with most ponies is this: they're almost always missing components. So, you know, I see a number of ponies out there without any kind of lift system, or without a drawbar, or without both. Well, that pretty makes the pony useless. You know, I mean, other than, I guess, you like to have a pony around, you can ride around for a while. They're fun little tractors, but they're not that fun. So these tractors that I bought do have pretty much all the original components on them. So for instance, like the work light, that is an actual original work light with original mount and so forth. Those are not commonly seen. One of the other ones has the same thing. Same with the headlights. These are the original headlights. And one of the others has all original lighting on it too. The parts tractor does not have original lights on it. A lot of times they're missing air cleaners, or they've got some other cobbed up muffler, and I see this one's canted, so I have a feeling it's either rusted out or something's up with that. There's just so many ponies I look at out there. They want nearly as much as what I paid for these three, and then if you really want to chase down a thing like a lift and all that kind of stuff, you end up paying a lot of money for those parts. This one happens to have, you know, original rear wheel weights. I've got a couple sets of those. Don't, you know, glad it has them, but I've got plenty of those. Looks like original gauges. The temp gauge is not in too good a shape there. That's for sure. But steering's tight on this one. Engine's a bit oily, kind of what you'd expect. So steering's real nice and tight on this one. You know, the other thing is, you know, a lot of times, like you'll see a plow advertised. Well, it doesn't have the other components you need to actually make the plow functional on the tractor. So those are things that, you know, I caught my eye on these particular tractors, as they really were complete and you know, original, with the exception of those lights. Now the fixed up one did not have a lift system on it. So, but again, for what I paid, you know, no big deal. Parts Tractor does have a lift system, so I could always put the lift system over here. I do have actually have a hydraulic lift system. I will probably end up putting on one of these. But if we can walk over here, take a look at this. So this one happens to be an earlier tractor. It also has wheel weights, has a really nice set of tires on it. Somebody had started restoring it and took that off, left it outside. Not a smart move. Steering's nice and tight on this one too. We got a good gas tank, carburetor, things like that. So there'll be a few things on this tractor we'll actually utilize on some of the others, but we'll probably take this lift system off here and put it on the fixed up one. Even this one though, there's a lift arm that's supposed to be here. It's not here. You know, so people take parts off these things over the years and go on a strap out. Somebody looks at it, I have no idea what that's for. They're just never seen again, you know. So so when you get some that are complete, it just saves you chasing down a whole bunch of parts. And that, for me, I like that. I mean, it's kind of fun chasing down parts on some things sometimes, but when they're not local, they're usually expensive, and then you have to ship them and all that stuff. It's just not worthwhile. These things are not that valuable. So whenever I look for one, I try to, you know, if they're not pretty complete, I'm just not interested regardless. So so anyway, project on this one, get it run. I'm sure it's gonna, you know, get the fuel system cleaned up, probably rebuild the carb, battery, and get it going, put the tires on here, and then get the cultivator adjusted and put it to work. Anyway, quick pony video, and we'll actually do a little more in-depth pony videos here in the future. Thanks a lot for watching.